Hello, my dear students, and welcome back. I know your exams are just around the corner and the tension is building up, right? Don't you worry. Today, we're going to tackle a super important chapter, the judiciary. And I promise by the end of this, it's going to feel so easy. Ready? Let's jump right in.
Just think about it for a second. When you and your friend have a fight, a small argument, who do you go to? Maybe an older sibling or a teacher, right? Someone who can be fair and decide who's right. Okay, now think bigger, much bigger. What if two of our states, say Punjab and Haryana, are fighting over something? Or what if you, a single citizen, feel that the government has passed a law that's just not fair? Who decides then?
Well, that's exactly where our country's ultimate referee steps in, the judiciary. It's just like in a cricket match. You need an umpire to make sure both teams are playing by the rules, don't you? In the same way, our country needs the judiciary to make sure that everyone, and I mean everyone, from you and me to the Prime Minister, is following the biggest rule book of all, our Constitution.
So what does this referee actually do? Well, it has three main jobs, three super important rules. First, it settles disputes fairly. Second, it protects the rule of law. Now that's a key phrase, Beta. It just means that the law is king and everyone is equal in its eyes. No exceptions. And third, it safeguards our fundamental rights. These are the things that prevent anyone from becoming a dictator and taking away our freedom.
Now tell me, what good is an umpire if he's on one team's side? Useless, right? He has to be completely fair, completely impartial. It's the exact same for our judiciary. It absolutely has to be independent. So let's see how our amazing Constitution makes sure that this referee is always free from any kind of pressure.
Okay, bachcho, listen very carefully now. This part is a 5-star important question for your exams. Our Constitution has built a kind of fortress around our judges to protect them. The politicians in Parliament, they don't get to appoint them. Judges have a fixed term, so they can't just be fired if someone doesn't like their decision. In fact, removing a judge is incredibly difficult. Even their salaries are protected. All this is done for one reason, so they can give justice without any fear or pressure.
All right, so how are all these courts organized? It's actually quite simple. Just imagine a big pyramid. That's our court system. It's a single connected system with different levels. And right there at the very top, at the peak, sits the most powerful court in the whole country. So at the very top of this pyramid, we have the Supreme Court of India. Its decision is final. It's the law of the land. Just below that, you have the high courts, one for each state or a group of states. Then you come down to the district courts in your city or district, and at the very bottom we have the subordinate courts. The best part is, if you're not happy with the decision at a lower level, you can appeal to a higher court. It's all connected. All right, everyone, so since the Supreme Court is the big boss, it obviously has some special powers, right? In civics, we have a fancy word for these powers. It's jurisdiction. Now, don't get scared by the word. It's very simple. Let's look at the Supreme Court's main superpowers. This table makes it so easy to understand. Original jurisdiction just means some cases go straight to the Supreme Court, like a fight between the government of India and a state. Appellate is easy. It means it hears appeals from the high courts. Writ jurisdiction, this is like the Supreme Court's ultimate weapon to protect your fundamental rights. And finally, advisory means the President of India can ask the court for its opinion on some important legal issue. See? Simple. Okay, you think you've got it? Let's do a quick pop quiz. A classic one-mark question that often comes in the board exams. Are you ready? Okay, here's the question. Which jurisdiction allows the Supreme Court to act as an umpire in disputes between the center and states? Think about it. And the answer is original jurisdiction. Absolutely brilliant. Please remember this one, Bacho. It's a favorite of the examiners. So we know the judiciary is a really powerful referee. But what happens when the referee has a disagreement with a major player, like the parliament, the body that makes our laws? And most importantly, how does all of this drama affect you? At its heart, the judiciary is meant to be the guardian of our rights. But for a long time, there was a problem. What if you couldn't even reach the guardian? What if the doors to the court were too expensive or too far away? The court realized it needed to do something revolutionary. And just listen to this powerful quote from Justice Bharati. He was basically saying that our old system, where only the person who was hurt could go to court, just wasn't working for the poor, for the people in villages, for the marginalized. They could never get justice this way. The system needed to change. And the change that came was the public interest litigation, or PIL. Honestly, this was the judiciary's superhero move. It was a total game changer. Suddenly, anyone, a journalist, an NGO, even a student like you, could go to court on behalf of people who couldn't go themselves. This one idea opened the doors of justice for millions of Indians. Now, for many years, there was this huge tug-of-war happening between the Parliament and the judiciary. Parliament thought it could change any part of the Constitution. The Supreme Court said, hold on, not so fast, especially when it came to fundamental rights. This big fight finally came to a head in 1973 in a landmark case called the Kesavananda Bharati case. And the verdict was pure genius. The Supreme Court came up with something called the Basic Structure Doctrine. Think of it like this. The court told the Parliament, look, our Constitution is like a building. You can repaint it, you can change the windows, you can move some walls around, but you cannot, under any circumstances, destroy the foundation pillars. These pillars, things like democracy, our secular fabric, rule of law, that's the basic structure and it can never be changed. So what's the big picture here? What's the main thing you need to remember? First, the judiciary is your ultimate protector. Second, it makes sure that no one, absolutely no one, is above the law. Third, because of amazing tools like PIL, even the weakest person has a voice and can get justice. And finally, it's the institution that keeps the delicate balance of power in our democracy. It keeps everyone in check. And with that, we're at the end. But I'll leave you with a little food for thought. We say the judiciary is our guardian, our protector. But what happens if the protector itself makes a mistake? Who protects us then? It's something to think about, isn't it? I really hope this helped you all. Study well, don't take too much stress, and all the very best for your exams. You are going to be fantastic.